Tuesday. This year, Acting National Consumer Commissioner Thezi Mabuza will be in Durban inspecting compliance in the textile industry. She joins us for more on the significance of the day. Thank you very much, ma'am, for availing yourself this afternoon. Just in general, perhaps just an idea in terms of how well South Africans know their rights and avenues to express dissatisfaction.
We think that for the past 10 years, really, we have made strides, but we think that we are not yet there as of now, because we don't really see our South Africans complaining, especially when you're looking at around the issue of textiles, wherein people will still buy goods, your clothes and your shoes, wherein it's labeled in foreign languages, and sometimes as well, wherein the labeling itself is not complete. Because what the Act will expect you to understand is if you're wearing something that is made in South Africa, then also the textile or maybe the fabric is from another country, it should be labeled in such a way that you can make informed choices. So we don't get those complaints. But then also when we were looking around doing our inspections in some of the areas, especially in our down market areas wherein they are selling a lot of textiles, we see that some of the goods are not properly labeled, and some of them might be those that are getting through porous ports of entry. So that is the focus in this on Tuesday.
We'll get into the porous ports of entry in a few moments, but in terms of a consumer who then buys this item of clothing or the pair of shoes and you're not even able to read what it makes out, but it's affordable.
It is, but our role then as the Commission is to make sure that even if it's affordable for you, it's properly labeled. Because that affordability would actually, if it's not properly labeled, like you buying something which is cotton, or maybe it's polyester, and then you are not handling it properly, then you are not even going to get value for money. The reason for correct labeling is that you should know whether you are wearing wool, you are wearing polyester, you are wearing cotton, or maybe even if you are allergic to certain fabric as well along those lines, then you should know, because most people would find that they are really allergic to wool. And in this case, they can make informed choices. So we are saying that for you as a consumer, if goods are properly labeled, then you can know that you are buying the correct size, because if you've taken it from the shop and it's not defective, you would not be able to return it. So in this case, your rights, knowing that the label is correct, what is there in terms of the fabric, the labeling and care in terms of how do you wash and handle that fabric, and also the size as well, it's very essential for us. And also for you to make an informed choice of buying in a country, or maybe if you want to support proudly South African, because that's where our jobs are. We urge you as a consumer to exercise your right. And if in that instance you know that something is not properly labeled, let us know, but don't buy it, because it might be misleading.
Defective goods you speak of making their way onto South African shelves or onto people's bodies because of porous ports of entry. Does the problem not start there? When we talk about the protection of consumers, should that not be nipped in the bud? What's being done there?
That is wherein we want to take consumers in this on the 15th. Is that our role as the Commission starts at the port of entry. We have the customs officials that will flag goods, consignments when they come into the country. Then if something is either clothing, textile, footwear or leather goods, they will stop those consignments, check them for compliance with the CPA. If they are not compliant, then they will be set aside. We will go there and inspect those goods. If the goods are not properly labeled, then in that case, we would issue a compliance notice wherein we tell the importer to import them out of the shores, out of the African continent, or maybe destroy them at an accredited facility. So we start there, but it might happen that some of the goods will leave or will actually go undetected. This would mean that we say they go undetected because when we inspect, they will profile, and then we have a consignment. We have a target of like 4% of all the goods that are coming into the country. If they find themselves now being sold in our shelves, it's where in our provincial consumer affairs offices will have to come in and also your customs, your border police as well. They will follow those goods, either stop them at the weighing bridges, or maybe where in some of the warehouses, then will go there and inspect and then have those goods destroyed.
So by and large, ma'am, maybe just a closing thought from you, you are relying on South African consumers to bring some of these activities to your attention, but according to your awareness, just how far and wide is the problem that you are dealing with?
It is really kind of like it's a proliferation. That's what we are looking at right now. And then it's compromising our jobs. It's also compromising South Africa as a brand, because if they are not properly labeled, then they can be changed to be said that they've been made in South Africa. So we are relying on you as a consumer to say that if you spot something that's untoward wherein you feel that we need to know, we have the 9 provincial consumer affairs officers in your province wherein you can alert them. Or if maybe you can't do that, we still, as the NCC, can take your call and alert our counterparts to say, in your province, this is what we are seeing, or this is what we had received as a complaint from the consumers. Then we can even now team up with the border police officers and also assist also with the provinces wherein we can go down there and inspect and make sure that those goods that we are wearing, they are properly labeled, they are fit for you to use, and you know exactly how to handle them as the consumer so that they can last you longer.
Ms. Thezi, Mabuza is the Acting National Consumer Commissioner. Thank you.